My parents. I've had relationships, but it was more so I was the hurt one. But, I never want to hurt anybody or anything like that. But it will have to be my parents. I just know that they probably have like a vision of me, but I can see if I'm going like a different path, I've hurt them, but that's okay. It's not like I'm doing it intentionally, but I just know I see the hurt in their eyes. So, yeah.
I guess, joined the Army. I was 18. I kind of left my family, which might have, been a little hard for them. So, and then been away from my hometown for 10, 11 years now. So, kind of, I guess that would be one. I mean, they were excited too, but, I'm sure that it was hard for them. Same.
Me and my mom have a tough relationship just from when I was younger. So then whenever we hang out, it's kind of hard to hang out with her. And so I think that hurts her every time we hang out too. It's kind of just hard to hold a conversation sometimes, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think we just don't get along. Just our personalities don't. And just we fought a lot when we were younger. And I just think I just hold it against her for some reason. So I don't know.
I guess I can be a little stubborn sometimes and wanting my way on stuff, being a little inflexible on how to, I guess, go about future situations. And the only way to really resolve that has really just been talking it through, talking it over and, coming back to yourself and realizing, what, I might actually be at fault at this, and recognizing your own shortcomings and getting over those, I guess, obstacles and talking it through.
Yeah, mine's more general too, but I tend to hold grudges with my parents a lot and one of my brothers. But yeah, they'll do something and I don't like to communicate very much, and I need to be pushed to communicate. And so I guess they don't push me to communicate enough, which isn't their fault. That's all on me. But I'll hold a grudge, and then that hurts them because I'm not talking to them and they don't know why. And then it just kind of gets worse from there. But yeah.
I'm pretty bad with just my emotions in general. I think I could have outbursts that, I feel bad about when I do it. But I think I've had times where I've been mean to family members or my sister, Shayla, or somebody like that. I think I've been mean to them before, and then we've had arguments that I felt bad about. And that's just myself growing and trying to be better as a human being in general. There was one Christmas where we just got into arguments. I was like, I wish you just weren't my sister or something along those lines before, which I do regret saying. I think I was 14, so I don't think she actually thought I meant it, which is good, but I still shouldn't have said that.
Maybe a month ago, my girlfriend, we got in a big argument, and I kind of blew out of proportion and overreacted a little bit, but she was wrong and I was wrong at the same time. But we got over it, and we just kept building on our relationship. We actually hit a 1-year anniversary about a few days ago.
Probably me getting into arguments with my friends. I got into an argument with a friend recently, and I lost a friendship over it. It was probably me being a little immature. We were all a trio, so she felt like we were singling her out, and it was a duo and not a trio as a group. We were singling her out, so we probably should have included her a little bit more, but
A disagreement I had with one of my oldest son, maybe, and we were in differences of opinions, and I think he probably felt like I wasn't apologetic enough. Kind of gave a little rift between us, but we're healed and all good today. I just try to look at it from his standpoint, because sometimes they're right, your children, and what they say. You just have to be open-minded and listen, even though the presentation might come off a little wrong. So I kind of thought about it, and there was some truth to it, not a lot, but it was some truth to it. So, but we made up, and we're good now.
We're trying to teach our grandson not to bite people, and he's 2 years old. He does it mainly to people he loves. I think he shows it as a sign of affection, but we've been trying to break him of it. We were playing, he was on my chest, and he bit me in somewhere on my chest or belly that really hurt, and I hit him to try to get him off my chest. almost like he would swat away a gnat or a bug or something, and he went flying, and he was crying, and I didn't break anything, and I didn't, please don't report this to the local authorities. It was just a flinch kind of reaction. So I felt really bad about that because I love that little fella so much. He's tough as nails, and he just started dating. And that's the reason we're out today, is because he's in day school now. His parents got smart and got him away from his grandparents. But we pretty much helped raise him for the last 2 years, and just love him to death. Yeah.
I think in my case, it was pretty simple. I think I hurt my dad on a regular basis. We had our disagreements, and we didn't get as close as we probably should have been.
For me, it was my dad's second wife. We were very close. She did a lot for me. She was very accepting when I came out to my dad as being gay, and he wasn't sure how she would react. And she ended up making a white ceramic swan, kind of the ugly duckling story. So she presented that to me. So she was more than accepting. But as it turned out, we had a little bit of a falling out. She had asked me to dance with her at a relative's wedding, and my mom was there, and I didn't feel that was appropriate. I felt my mom would be hurt, and so I did dance with her. But then after that, I talked to my dad and said I wasn't really comfortable with that. I thought she was kind of pushing it just to kind of show my mom something, and from that point on, our relationship deteriorated and we grew distant. So that was, I think, kind of a disappointment for both of us.
My youngest daughter just moved to Austin. When she came to visit at Christmas time, she'd gained a little weight, and I said, "Oh, you look a little full in the face." She goes, "You're fat shaming me." That was before I started on Ozempic, by the way. So I hurt her feelings, and I shouldn't have done that. And I really didn't mean to.
So I'm thinking of two different circumstances, but they're both very similar. So both times was people that I was dating at the time, and essentially our lives were going down different paths, and I was getting really angry about it, and so I got very controlling and very essentially telling them exactly who they should be rather than letting them be who they were. And so in doing that, I hurt them and made them kind of feel diminished rather than encouraging the giftings they had, because I was in this fear-based state, even though there were people that I cared about a lot, but because I was so scared about what was going to happen to me, I stopped caring about them.
It was mutual. I got divorced. She wanted to go her way, and I wanted to go my way, and we had 2 kids, so we had to make it work. And
yeah, you either grow together or you grow apart.
Yeah, we grew apart.
We grew apart.
That was 23 years of marriage there, gone. So
something happened that I won't go into, but it affected my daughter, and I love my daughter dearly, and it hurt her deeply. And if I could do it all over again, I would not have allowed it. I wouldn't do it. So it was painful for she and I, and it's been many years since all of this took place, and we're trying to find our way back to one another. And we are, but it's a slow process. When it took place, I wasn't aware of it until it was long past the time, but it still hurt her deeply. And so there are consequences to pay when you do hurt a person that you love. You may not find each other, you may not find your way back to each other, so I count myself blessed being able to find my way back to her.
To deviate from my cultural norms for what would be right and wrong, and to have hurt my mother for some of my growing pains of, coming of age, so to speak. If I could take it all back, maybe I would have, but those were learned lessons. As a mother for her child, always there for me no matter what, not to condone certain behaviors, if you will, but for the most part, I know that I hurt her in most instances, but we were able to, she knew before she passed that, how sorrowful I was for the heartaches and pain I have given her in life, and so that's what would matter to me as far as, to have hurt someone.
I was living my freshman year in college. I had a girlfriend, and that experience, I just know I just put her through a lot. So that's that's been with me ever since, basically. 4 years ago, so 2019. So I made a lot of changes, obviously. Like, I'm a better person, but that's someone I really heard that I love, for sure. Giving her more attention, really, because like I was so focused on basketball, because I'm a basketball player, so I was really focused on school, basketball, not really just being home and just like seeing her and stuff. So like that really took a toll on me, like to really understand when she left me, to really understand like, okay, I gotta really put her in my, like I gotta be in her shoes, you know what I mean?
I don't know about somebody I love. I can remember when I was in junior high, we used to pick on this girl that used to pee in her pants and smelled. And I felt in the last class reunion, I tried to find her address and write to her, but she was no longer there. So I felt guilty about, as when you're in junior high, kids tease each other or other kids. And so I always felt bad about that. So I don't know if that's anybody I love, but, well, I guess you could say that.
Kind of has to do with my father, who's standing over there. I moved out of my mom's house. There's a very long story behind that, but moved out of my mom's house. I've had a God-given gift of playing guitar. Really good guitarist, not afraid to say it. It's how I got my name, the name Lightning. Everybody back where I'm from, they all know me as the guitarist, and that's what my family wanted me to focus on. And after I moved out, I kind of hung it up on the shelf and said, I'll get to it later. And that really hurt, you know, my father and my mother, because my mom always says, I didn't raise you to turn a wrench, I raised you to play guitar. And they're not saying that as, you know, don't work, just do music. Like, don't work, don't finance it at all. They're saying, focus on it, make it a main priority. And I really love playing guitar. I love playing guitar more than I do riding motorcycles. I love riding motorcycles and I love working on cars, but when I pick up a guitar, it's just, I'm in another world. It's that drug that you can't buy and you can't sell. When I really put it up on the shelf, once I got back in contact with my family, I could see where it really hurt them to think that I was just throwing that away. It was good and bad, but to me, you know, I kind of regret doing that because I wish I hadn't have stopped or slowed down. You know, I wish I would have just kept at it and made my parents proud, you know, which I'm doing that now, but should have started a long time ago.
One time my parents came to college I was going to, which was Florida State. And if you know anything about Florida State, there's a lot of extracurricular activities going on there. Most of the time it's really just having fun, drinking a lot of beers, enjoying yourself. They came up pretty regularly, but they came up one time and had tickets for us for the football game, and I got really drunk at a frat party and decided I didn't want to go. So I sold my ticket, not thinking that it would be upsetting to them, but that was a problem with my mom. She saw it as me avoiding spending time with them, and I saw it as I was 20 and wanted to go take a nap. I didn't really think it through. It really changed the way I thought about like those kinds of interactions from then on out, like trying to consider the impact of what I was doing on other people as opposed to just myself, which was pretty deep for 20 and hammered, so that was nice.
Sometimes I can be a little too honest with people. I was really mean to my brother growing up. I was really hard on him, and I said when he would get even just B's in high school, I said he was going to fail and that he was never going to get anywhere in life. And the next semester, he got all A's, and he ended up being really, really successful. But I've just never kind of forgiven myself for being really hard on him, because that's what big sisters do. But retrospectively, it was not probably the best way to handle it. I prefer to be more supportive, and whatever people want to do, I go for it now. It's very good. We actually live together. We rent, and we're good buddies now. So it worked out.
I guess growing up, I was a dumbass kid, and I'm pretty sure I put my mom through some shit that I shouldn't have, and I'm sure it hurt her, but we're okay from it. We moved okay from it, so. But I'm pretty sure I put her through some shit growing up. I was a wild kid. I was always into what I wasn't supposed to be into. Sneaking out, staying out late, being gone for days, worrying her half to death probably. Probably not good looking back on it, but.
I'm really bad at teasing people, and I usually end up picking the thing that they're actually self-conscious about. So I was teasing someone once about something over the course of a few days, and I realized that was actually something that they were very tender about, and I just didn't realize it. So I felt horrible because that wasn't what I intended, but I am a horrible teaser, and so now I try not to do that. Yeah, I apologized, and I learned that I'm just too literal to try to tease people, but teasing is a big part of like cultural lubrication between people, like that, like helps people connect to tease each other, but I'm just horrible at it, and I can't do it.
I think if I had to pick one, it would be my first high school relationship. I think back on how I left the situation. I kind of just felt like the only way to move on was to like cut them off, and that kind of really hurt them. I'm sure I haven't communicated with them in a long time, so I don't really know how that affected them in their life, but I think if I could go back in time, I would have tried to leave myself as a friend to that person, or let them know that they could still reach out to me, not burn bridges as much. Keep those people in your life, because obviously, while it might not have worked out relationship-wise, they could have still been a great friend. I was graduating high school, and I felt like if I was in a relationship, I couldn't fully grow as myself. I felt like I needed to be just me going into college, and I kind of feel like they needed the same thing. They were also going off to school. It was a different school, and I didn't want to be an anchor to someone who could experience new things without me in the same way that I felt like I wanted.
Give you this one first. When I hurt somebody I love, I feel like the way that I do that the most is by not giving someone the attention that they need at a certain moment. If, say, like my mom comes home from work and she's feeling kind of down, and I can see that, but I'm so distracted with the flow of the day that I don't take time to just stop what I'm doing and like give her the time that she needs, for example. Or the same with Anna or with other people as well. Just like I feel like I can get so absorbed in myself that later when I reflect on the situations, like I feel like I hurt that person by not giving them the time that they may have needed from me at that moment.
I tend to get caught up in my own emotions and get frustrated and I guess express that in a negative way instead of taking time to really process my emotions and not take them out on people. So that's something I've been learning to work through. And I've totally done it to you before where I've been having a bad day. One time in particular really that I think about it, and I've just been short with Jake, and then he's had to point it out to me, and then I'm like, wow, that is something I need to work on. So I'm grateful that he's here to help me grow. But yeah.